You are listening to The Art of Sales. Everyone sells every day, and this is your source for conversational, real-world sales and prospecting methods that you are comfortable using and that get results. You'll help people buy instead of pushing them into being sold. Here's your host, Art Subcheck.
So I was flying back from a training engagement and I was waiting out a flight delay at the airport bar and struck up a conversation with a fellow stranded road warrior. And the topic shifted to what we do. And he asked me, and I answered by asking him, well, do you ever get any sales calls at your office? Because as it turned out, he was a manager in the corporate accounting division at a large life insurance company. And he said, well, yeah, I just got one the other day. I'm in charge of the printing of our company's annual reports, and apparently I had received an email, which I never read, from a printing rep a couple of months ago who wanted to get me to change to his company for our printing. And in the meantime, he was let go, and then he was replaced by a new person who called me. So I asked him, I said, well, was that call any good? And he says, God, no, it really turned me off. He said, this rep called, she said, introduced herself and her company, and she said, I've taken over, and she gave the previous rep's names, accounts, so I was wondering if you're going to use us. And then the guy said, and I told her no, and she was pretty antagonistic. And then she came back with, well, why? Well, I just basically told her I didn't see any reason to change. And he said that she wasn't too courteous when she hung up. So I asked him, well, what could she have said so that you would have listened to her? And then he thought for a minute and said, well, she could have said that her company specializes in printing annual reports and that they might be able to provide equal or better quality than what we're getting now at a lower or competitive price. And also, if they'd done anything else, I guess, for other insurance companies, that would have been a plus. And I asked him, so that would have sold you? And then he said, well, no, of course not. But it would have gotten her to the point where she could have asked me questions to find out what I'm looking for, what I need. And then I, of course, would probably want to find out if she could do something like that. So then I smiled and told him that he just described exactly what I do. And that is give people a system and the messaging to accomplish what he just described. And he said, well, I don't know anything about sales, but it seems some of these people should be able to just practice some common sense. And I told him he actually knows a lot about sales. He knows what it takes to sell him, which is basically the same as most of your buyers and my buyers. And then as I was talking to him more, I thought, what a great idea that is. And that is, how about interviewing buyers and ask them how they like to be sold to? How about this? Find people who you know are decision makers for different companies. These could be buyers in your own company. Find out what they react favorably to. How about talking to your customers whom you've built up a personal relationship with and ask them how they like to be sold to and what they would listen to and what they hate. So bottom line, pretty brief tip here today. Don't sell people the way that you want to. Sell the way they want to buy. All right. Hey, you know what time it is.
Your attitude will be iron. Every way you'll never feel what they say. It's the art of the sales. Quote of the day.
That's right. Time for the quote of the day. And today's quote is from George Ade. And George was an American writer, newspaper columnist, and a playwright who died in 1944, but had some very timeless advice. And here it is. Give the people what they think they want. Well, that's pretty powerful, isn't it? Give the people what they think that they want. Because really, we're selling what people want, not always what they necessarily need, because they will do a lot more to get what they want, and it's always their perception of what they want. So let's find out what that is, right? Speaking of finding out what that is, I want to give you a book that shows you exactly how to place those calls to do that. It's my book, How to Place the Successful Sales and Prospecting Call, which gives you my proven 7-step sales process. It's an actual book, 180 pages, and I will mail it to you. Just help with a nominal shipping charge, and you can get that at freesalesbook.com. freesalesbook.com. That's for U.S. addresses. International friends, we do have an offer for you there as well. Thank you so much for sharing and investing your valuable time with me here today. Until next time, go out and make it your best sales day ever. I'm Art Subchat.